Hello everyone, today I want to talk about electric charge. Few of my students have been asking me to explain to them what exactly is an electric charge. Well, we know that matter is made of atoms and atoms are made of electrons, protons and neutrons. Electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged while neutrons are carrying no charge. They are neutral electrically. Okay, and the charge on electron and proton, they are of opposite nature. Electron is carrying charge minus 1.6 times 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, while protons are carrying charge 1.6 times 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So as you can see, the unit of charge is coulomb, and coulomb is a very big number because it takes approximately 10 to the power 19 electrons to make 1 coulomb. Okay, we also have discussed in the class that charge has some basic properties like charge cannot be destroyed, cannot be created, charges can be transferred from one object to another object. We also have shown you with a glass rod and far, like if we rub them together, this glass will be positively charged and this far will be negatively charged. That is what people have been doing for the 600 before the birth of Christ. Okay, and this name positive and negative, this nomenclature has been given to us by Sir Benjamin Franklin. We could have given it any other name. It is just to tell that they are of opposite nature. All right. And why the glass becomes positively charged and the far become negatively charged? Because we explain that the electrons in the outermost orbit in the glass, they are more loosely bound than the electrons in the outermost orbit in the far. And as we are rubbing the far and the glass together, then there is mechanical energy being spent and heat being generated, right? And that heat is giving energy to the outermost electrons in the atoms of the glass, and those electrons are detached and they are coming to the far. Now, after some time, we will find the far negatively charged and the glass positively charged, but the total charge of the whole system will still be zero because at the beginning they were neutral, right? So at normal condition, most of the matter is made of atoms, and the atoms are made of equal number of protons and equal number of electrons. So it is neutral. But again, with all this information available to our textbook at any standard medium, still the question remains: what is electric charge? And then we say, all right, electric charge is a fundamental, basic property, intrinsic property of matter. Like mass is a property of matter, charge is a property of matter, and electron is like the fundamental agent. Okay, can we have any charge less than the charge of electron? In today's world, we have found out that electrons and protons can also be like decomposed into more fundamental particles like quarks, and quarks can have 2/3 of electronic charge or 1/3 of electronic charge, but those quarks cannot exist independently while electrons can exist independently. All right, but again the question is, what is electric charge? So now I would like to forget about the electronic charge and I would like to imagine you about human emotion. Okay, we all think that we understand what is anger, what is happiness, what is sadness, but do we really understand those emotions? We know that when a person is angry, how he or she can behave. We know when someone is happy or sad, how he or she can behave, but that doesn't mean that we understand fundamentally what is sadness, happiness or anger. We say, all right, those are different flavors of emotion. Okay, and so when someone is consumed by that flavor of emotion, he will or she will behave this way. Same thing when we have this electron and proton, when they are consumed by the charges, when some object is consumed by charges, how they will behave. We know that like charges will repel and unlike charges will attract each other. Okay, like again coming back to our human emotion, suppose we have twins, exactly identical physical features, A and B. If both of them, and here also let us assume that anger is quantized, and suppose A and B both are angry with 1 unit of anger, or 2 unit, 3 unit, or 100 units of anger, and if we bring them close, what will happen? We might, by observation, we might conclude that they will repel each other or they will roar to each other. If someone is calm and quiet, then actually he, one second, pause. So speaking about human emotion, we say the sadness, happiness, anger, all these are different flavors and shades of human emotion, and we know how that human might behave when they are consumed by this kind of emotion. But that doesn't mean that we really understand the origin of these emotions. All right. So point is that when we are studying the dynamics of people and we know that what kind of flavors of emotions they are in, we can study their interaction. Similarly, when we are dealing with fundamental particles or bodies with charges, with their positive or negative charges or how much charges they are carrying, we can study their dynamics. But still today we don't exactly know what is the fundamental cause or reason origin or of charge. But I would like to say one thing, this is my speculation. So if you look at this human emotion, this is just like different structures of thoughts. Sadness, happiness, they are ultimately thoughts or emotions, but with different patterns. So maybe if you imagine this invisible field around us, like it, you can call that ether field or X field or any field, okay? Because universe is filled with some kind of energy field, okay? So point is that it is just a pattern in that field. Suppose these are two fundamental particles and this is rotating this way. If this we call positive, then anti-clockwise can be negative, and it is all about this flow pattern. But flow of what? Flow of this invisible energy field. But again, this is just a speculation, because as you know, still today we are not accepting the ether field or this invisible field in scientific world. I think that requires a different direction of research. If we can bring back this all invading quantum field or field around us, and if we can study their flow patterns, that might tell us the origin of the charge. Again, that's just a speculation. Until then, let us just assume that okay, we have somehow understood what is charge on the electrons and protons, or how charges are transferred from one body to another, and we can deal with charged particle. We can apply Coulomb's law to find out the force of interaction between them. All right. So still, if you have doubt, if you still can't feel what is charge, I will make another video. Until then, have a great time, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much.